Hey, it's Eric with Hoosier Cycles. I just got done fixing up this Delta V600 for my son, and the last thing I was waiting on were a new set of brake calipers, or actually brake cantilevers. I found a set of new old stock online and purchased them, the CODA brand, which is Cannondale's high-end, I guess, performance line. So I was lucky to find them. Well, I don't know if I was lucky, but I found them, and I thought they'd be a nice addition to this since he wanted to keep it kind of a retro build, and they worked out fine. There is a little quirky adjustment when you're dealing with these, I think it's called a plus 40. It's supposed to increase your braking power on the cantilevers by 40% using this little cam action right here. But there is a procedure you have to do to adjust them. It's really not anything different than a regular setup on a cantilever. I actually find it kind of comical that they use this little split device here when Shimano had this little device that they were using on their cantilever brakes. And I wonder if that was something very similar because, you know, instead of having a hanger come down here and then pulling, they used this deal which would just bring the cable through, and then this would just react to the tension on this side. So I think Shimano already had it figured out with this, and then Cannondale looks like they came up with this elaborate contraption, which is pretty similar to this. So over engineering, I don't know, but what I'm going to do is shoot a video today. Would be walk through some of the stuff we did to this Delta V, and then also I'm going to set the rear plus 40 up with the other set of the rear cantilevers. These are kind of neat because they use the adjustment just like a U-brake. I don't know if you can get that in there, if I got that in there or not, but it uses just the slot here and the tensions inside, and the pivot bolt here bolts down, and it's got a stop in there which tensions that and allows the arm to move freely. So we'll go through that today, and I'm gonna walk around the bike and show you what we've done to it. So we did a retro build on this. We went from a 3x7 to now a 1x9, something a little more simpler. A lot of the gravel bikes are doing that now, and kind of simplified everything. But I did this on kind of the cheap. I found a used crank. Got a good deal on a bottom bracket from Second Cycles in Tacoma there, or co-op, and got a new cassette on the back, and found a used shifter, and then had another set of brake levers I had to use because the original STX components that were on this was a STX Grupo, Shimano Grupo. I had an issue with this caliper here, or this lever or brake cantilever on this side, had an issue on the back. They were both frozen, so I had to replace the stud here, and then I just had to replace the cantilevers. I could have went V-brake with it, but he wanted to keep kind of this retro look, and since I was able to source out a new old stock CODA cantilevers, it's got a really nice look to it, and I think it just matches the bike nicely. So we'll just walk through the bike, and then I'm going to set up that rear plus 40. Okay, so retain the head shock. It actually works really nice. I just open the boot up there and make sure it's clean inside, and I replaced the handlebars up front with a CODA set. These are CODA stamped. They were silver, so I just went ahead and found a black set that were pretty decent shape. I did have to replace the levers because the STXs were integrated. Went with this Dior Shimano 9-speed shifter right there, and found some brake bar ends, some smaller ones. Thought he liked those. Got the front brake on. We already talked about that. And instead of going with a new free hub, I found a good set of disc brake wheels. As you can see here, they are disc brake, but they had an 8-speed hub on them, so anything with an 8-speed can support up, I think, to 11-speed cassette. So I just went ahead and swapped out the wheel set, repacked them, and cleaned them up. And since they didn't have a rim brake on them, I just took the disc off, and now they have just a nice clean set of wheels on there. This is a Octalink, which is the splined bottom bracket, and just found a Shimano crank. It already had a gear on. I think this is a 42, so I didn't have to change that. Just kept the same pedals that came with the bike, and I had a Dior derailleur that I had picked up a while ago, and everything works fine with it. Shifts nicely. This is a 9-speed cassette on it, so it's just a 1x9. These are 175 arms, so it's just kind of a modern drivetrain on this Delta V600. This is a 19 or 20 inch frame, so it's a large frame. He wanted a Brooks saddle, so I picked that up for him, put that on. I actually had an extra one. So it turned out nice. It's just a nice retro. It's a smooth riding bike. It's light. And now we're going to swap out these Shimano cantilevers, and I'm going to put those CODAs on. All right, I'm going to set my camera up, and then we'll switch over. Okay, so hopefully we got a good bird's eye view of this. This is the plus 40 again brake system. I did find a Diacomp XT. I think this is an XCI. Really nice cantilever brake, but since I have a nice match set of Diacomp or the CODAs, I'm just going to go ahead and swap these out. So first thing I'm going to do is just take this right side. They call this the oh, I don't know what they call that thing. So we'll just get some wrenches over here. We'll loosen this up. So we've got to take this pivot off here and clean it, make sure it's lubricated well. So let's get this out of the way. And then I don't think I have an 8 out. What is it? Get this off here. We'll just remove these. Now the one thing you're going to have to do, because these are the original bolts holding the original cantilevers on, so you got to have a different nut for the here, or bolt for here. So these are just 5mm. You can't use these cap type ones. Just going to remove this one side. I'll get to the other side. You got to go with it's got to be able to insert inside the tensioner on the cantilever. Oh, there goes that one. So you know these are tensioned with a spring that has that pivots on those three. Got three holes in the base of the cantilever itself. Right there. You see this one's kind of boogered up. I think I had to replace these. But those right there have a spring that indexes right here, 1, 2, 3. And I didn't like these two well because there was no adjustment for the tension. Most modern cantilevers had at least one side, and if they were really good, they had two sides. You could actually, tension that spring. So the studs are usable. You can reuse the studs for this kit, which is nice. You can't use that again. You're going to have to go with something like that in order to fit in there, and they've got to be a pretty decent length. So make sure if you ever swap out to this CODA set, and I just want to lubricate this, my pivots. Another thing I want to do is I want to take this off. This is got to be lubricated. I think I've already cleaned it, but we'll clean it up again. We'll pop it off, clean it up, throw some grease on it. It's all brass. Make sure we don't lose that guy. There is a tensioner in there. There's a little spring in there. You kind of see it. Don't want to lose anything. I found a article online that was instructions on how to set these brakes up. I found it a little bit confusing because it was more of the orientation of yourself, how you see the brakes. Like they said, facing the brakes, you know, this will be the left side, this will be the right side. And I kind of, to me, it felt like it was either you were facing it or it's, you know, you riding the bike. So the front I was just the opposite because I was reading it as I was looking at it, not as, you know, somebody sitting on the bike. Now this would be easier and it makes more sense. And so on this this setup, this plus 40, they want that Cannondale, that little symbol there, they want that straight up. So that's just got to be pointing straight up. Now it kind of sets itself there. Now you can move it around, but if you just set it right there, then your tension is right where they want it. And this will be the left side where it has this guy here set up to come over. So the stop needs to just be vertical. So that arrow they have, or the Cannondale, goes up and it's vertical, pointed up. So we've got that done. This is all cleaned up. You don't have to over tighten it. Remember, you're just going into aluminum. It's a small little, I don't know, 6 millimeter, 8 millimeter bolt there. Don't over tighten it. Let's put one of these on side. Now, what's cool about this OEM set that I got is this is just like a 990 brake or a U-brake setup. The tensioner's all built inside there, so as you tighten it, you know, you just adjust your cup on the outside here. And it has a little indicator for your toe. It's like a 2 millimeter right there. So that you just leave that little stop in there, and when you put your pad against the rim, it already sets your toe for you. And it tells you to remove the little red deal on there. It could affect your braking. I pulled them out of the front. I think they'll just fall out if I just first brake. They should just roll out. It's just got 2 little holes there, which is kind of cool, isn't it? And we're just going to make sure we have a little grease in there. We already got a pivot there. This will be the left side. And these, you know, normally you would think you would need the boss to be flat, but these actually work. They'll just stop right there on the brass here and tighten up. That's why I was thinking maybe I had to order different studs because this is an aluminum frame. These are steel studs here, bosses. You could just replace these if you needed to, but they work fine. It's not, there's no different angle on them. It's not real far out. I would think it'd be an issue if you didn't have this. Your pivot would be way up here, so maybe it wouldn't matter. But since you have this system on here, it actually lines up pretty good. Got the right side, it'll accept the cable up here. Again, it's got the little toe adjustment already in there. It says warning, remove toe in clip before use. So definitely never been installed. Okay. And these are just a 5 millimeter. I'm not putting any tension on them yet, adjusting them. Just going to route the cables. I think these are a little bit longer than the front, these bolts I'm using. I had to dig out some Allen headed. Yeah, they'll tighten up. I hope they will. Well, not yet. I have to shorten these. See if I can get away with using these. Well, this one's working. Maybe not. Let me try a little tension on here. Nothing yet. Bottoming out. Yeah, we're gonna have to take those off and shorten them. Alright, so I'm gonna show you how I shorten a nut up here. I just did this one. So I just found a, well, a bolt, I mean. Let's grab this one. This one's already been shortened. So I'll take it on the wire wheel here in a minute. But I just flatten it up here and I'll clean it up. So there's the one that's too long. I just found a nut that's going to thread on there. Take it down to so many threads I want to take off. Let's put it in a vise here, hold that nut. And then keep that bolt from spinning, Allen, just hold it here like that. You can see I'm blocking it. I'll just slide out here. Keep that from spinning. Now I'm just going to run my hacksaw against the nut and it'll guide me flat. Like that. Spin it out a little bit. Take a flat file. Whoop. Not where that happened. File in my vise. That should be good. Now I can just run this nut back out, kind of clean the burr up, and I'll run on the flat file over run on the grinder a couple of seconds. I actually have a nice cleaned up nut or a bolt for these. Just gonna run this on there. Okay, now we're back to our task at hand. Got our shortened bolts here. I'll get a little bit over. I can tighten these up now and get some tension on those. The whole idea for this is gotta get tension. Those were bottoming out. Now we got some tension. Okay, we don't want to do that now. We're going to set the pads first. And they've got these pads. I gotta swap them. Arrows are going the wrong way. The only, I guess, complaint I have about these CODA ones is they lack that Allen that would be normally at the top here. You see my finger? That you can help adjust your toe on your pad, or at least holding it. It just lacks that. thinking about swapping it out, but they're kind of nice and anodized. Like on these Shimanos, and most of the ones you see with the cantilevers, you have this deal here. You got your Allen head for the stud. When you tighten that tin up on the backside, that you can adjust and hold the toe, but this does not have any of that on the front. So I just use a wrench on here. It works. It's not the greatest. So, camera's in the way a little bit, but I'll just work around it, and I don't have to set the toe perfect because I want to do is show the tension on this. So this is pointing the wrong way anyway. So I'm going to have to just hold this. Just got to loosen this tin on the back side. And we'll flop this pad around. Just turn it. These have been sitting somewhere for I don't know how many years. Definitely gonna have to move that to the other side. So we'll let that set like that. Take this one out and we'll put that one on that side. That just rest. These are contoured, you know, to fit the rim. So you gotta have that. That's got to go on that side. We'll let that one rest right there. Get this one in. Apologize, my fingers are in the way. Hand. There we go. Okay. Now since we have that little guide on there, that little red deal, you know, it's raised up about 2 millimeters. It says is the toe, no more than 2 millimeters. At least that's what the Cannondale wants. Oh, these are spring tensioned. I didn't realize that. Pretty sweet. There's actually a spring inside here. I did not know that. It keeps tension on this, so you're not going to lose the pad. I thought you're going to lose it as soon as you turn it. You know, sometimes they drop out, but there's actually a spring sandwiched in between these two. Kind of high-end stuff. Now, since I don't have to worry about setting toe perfect, because it's already managed for me through that little guide they have, I'm just going to tighten this up. Just slide that against the, we'll go down, tighten it. Just going to go, well, I'm going the wrong way. Well, I'm not. There we go. Just that spring. It's taking the slack out of that spring. Pretty slick. So since I have no tension on this, I can just set the pad now. I do want to come out a little bit. There we go. That's the other thing, is you want to hit the top of the tire. There we go. Because these are going to kind of dive into the that's how the cantilevers. That's why I think the linear pole were so much more superior to these, because these dive in, and the linears were kind of came in at a straight, linear, straight. I still think the cantilevers are pretty cool brakes. They get the job done. Now I got to hold this. Get my tin on there somewhere. Okay, that should be good enough. Might be hitting the top of the tire. I feel like I am. Let's see if we can dive these down. That's why I like the Allen so much. You can hold them. Push it down a little bit more. There, I think we're better there. Just hold this. See how they want to kick up? Maybe Cannondale had a fancy tool for that. That'll work. It's not going to hit. This is going to be a little easier because I'm on this side. Try to make sure I'm up. You know, I want to make sure my placement, I have the same gap on each side. And after this, it's pretty simple once you get the pad set. But this could be the most nerve-wracking on cantilevers, is setting this angle of this pad. If anybody's done them, you know what I'm talking about. A little bit low. Diving into the, you know, that's a thing with the cantilevers, is you don't want to dive below the rim and then they go right into the spoke. It does happen. You don't have them set correct. That one just went. That should be good. Okay, and we'll tighten these up. Now this is the key to this whole system, is one side, the right side, needs to have more tension than the left side. So the stringer down here, what I have found is I'm going to set this one where I have some tension, because this is going to stop. When this starts pulling, it's going to go this way, and it's going to increase tension on this side. So that's why you want more right side tension than left, because this mechanical device is supposed to, I guess, add mechanically. So I'm going to tension this left side first. The way you do that is, this is a 13 millimeter right here. This cap here, which has a spring inside a cup. A lot of times you have to go through the spoke. You don't have to spin the wheel for it. Now there's my tension. I'd loosen it less, more. To get more action on it. Now my son requests, he wants tight brakes. He wants a nice action. So to do that, you know, you just put as much tension on this side as you want. But remember, this is going to have to be more, so you don't want to go overboard. Because this is going to act with some spring too, because this has a return to it. So we're going to leave it right there. See the angle we're at. Tighten this guy up. That should hold it. Don't have to go overboard again. Well, these are steel, but if you over tighten this stud or this bolt here, it could turn that stud and strip that interior, because this is just aluminum, you know, it's going into. But you can always helicoil it if you strip it, or go to a 10. This is 8 millimeter. You can go up to a 10 if you had to, if there's enough meat in there. Okay, so now we're set here as far as tension. I really didn't set this length, but what I'm going to do is place it right where I need to. It's got to be a 4. This is a 4. I'm going to go ahead and set the angle, or the distance, right now. Right there. So this is already set. I kind of put that straight too. Let me put this straight too. Kind of have I like to have this, when you take this off, you know, your quick release, to set that so it's flat. You can do that. I'll just pull this in. Put it right there. I'm right at the toe mark there. couple millimeters. I've got that set now. So this left side is set. Now the right side, we got our cable. It's already set up in here. Make sure your levers already, stops are all tightened up. And then we just drop that in the top here. Got our 5 again. Find my 5. It's in my pocket here. I know you can't see this, but it's pretty easy. All I'm going to do is pull this over. Make sure everything's seated. I'm going to set it there for now. Now I'm going to adjust the tension. My toe set. I'm against the pad. This cable is going to have not a lot more stretch. It's a newer cable, but it's been stretched here. Just going to tighten that there. Take my 13 again. I can reach it from this side. I'm going to go ahead and start tensioning this side. Now I'm going to see where my action is. Probably got that too tight. Way tight. We'll go ahead and tighten it down for now. I'm going to loosen this side. I'm going to loosen the 4 up here and let this slide through. Start seeing it slide. I'm going to drop that, stop it right there. Alright, I have no drag right now. Let's see how even it is. And they are moving pretty close. I need to knife those little tensioner, those toe deals out. That's what they look like in the pad. If you can see that, knock this one out. They should just roll out of there, but I'm trying to set this brake up. So. Well, it doesn't want to let go. Let's see if we got enough movement. There we go. Okay, set that back up. See that I had that straight. I don't know if you've ever fought with these things, quick releases, but since this is straight and I'm able to do it since it's an independent cable, it just makes it so much easier to get that toe off, you know, that quick release out. So I believe this is responding just a little bit quicker, this right side. So it's going to loosen this drag up on this right side. This tension, I'm going to hold it. Let's see if they're a little bit more even, which they are. That's what you want. You want these both to respond. Just pull a slight drag on there. Now that one's a little behind. I might just come back and tighten that back up. Okay, gotta let that cable stretch. Yeah, it's just a little bit faster on this one side. So one thing you don't want is you want this pad to go in, pushing the rim that way, then this one catches up. You want them to come together evenly. That's why you gotta have more tension on one side than the other. That's what this I think we'll do, since we got a lot of tension on that side, we'll just tension this one. Oh, this is a 14. I don't want a 14, I want a 13. That's why I was looking. We'll tighten this one up on this side. See if we get a little more action. on this side. A lot better. Okay, I'm engaging. Yeah, they're working pretty good. Not hitting the tire. Yeah, that's how you set up a plus 40. So not that bad. I still think it's a gimmick. I think that Shimano deal, show you again. Might have been the simpler version of that, I would think. Maybe this has more adjustment to it. It's easy to set up. It's not that bad. Just remember the right side has to have more tension than the left side. Overall, I think the CODA, these are kind of they're nice looking. They got a nice finish to them. I love the spring adjustment inside here, like a 990 brake or a U brake setup. You could use the same stud if you want. Everything with this plus 40 system here, everything's in alignment. It's not, you know, too low, which if I had the regular, you know, flat studded 90 or the U-brake style studs there, would set it down lower, and I think it would be, you know, diving down like that. But this whole system, it's a nice upgrade. If you can find a set of these, I think they're worth it. They look pretty cool. Okay, so this is Eric with Hoosier Cycles, and just did a kind of an overview of the Delta V600 Cannondale. It's going to be heading to Michigan here soon. All right, we'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for subscribing, and if you haven't, please subscribe and watch some more videos. The next one I'm going to do is a kind of a retro build on a Technium Raleigh. All right, we'll check you out on the next video.